Welcome back, everybody, to the SiriusXM NBA radio postgame show right here on Channel 86, the official channel of NBA radio. And, of course, we are joined by five-time All-Star, an NBA legend, and a Kentucky legend. We know he still has a lot of fans in Lexington. And we are joined by none other than John Wall. John, pleasure to have you on SiriusXM NBA radio. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. I'm doing great. Just relaxing and chilling at the house.
Absolutely. So listen, when you retired, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but I do a show on SiriusXM NBA Radio. I do a show on Infinity Sports Network, and I put out a video that said you, without a doubt, should be in the Hall of Fame when it's all said and done. And I stand by that. We're talking about an individual that averaged 19 points per game, that had 9 assists per game. You do realize there's only 2 other people in NBA history to do that. Magic Johnson, Isiah Thomas. That's NBA royalty. When you hear the names of those two and your career matched up to those guys numbers-wise, how does that feel?
It feels great. It feels amazing. I feel like, when you play basketball, you see all these legends before you. Definitely want to be on that same pedestal, try to be in the same conversation as a lot of these guys. I think the most important thing for me, I feel like I could have did that or even better, But the most important thing you can't control is injuries. It's a part of the basketball game, and it's something that comes with being an athlete. So it's great to be in that category of those guys, and I feel like without my last, I think like maybe year in Houston, last year with the Clippers, it probably would have been higher. But I didn't play as much and things was different there. So you take on a different role, so your numbers might drop a little bit. But I think averaging 19 and 9 for your career is very spectacular. It's very hard to do, especially in the NBA at a high level of scoring the ball and also setting your teammates up.
Absolutely. And again, we're joined by five-time NBA All-Star John Wall on SiriusXM NBA Radio. And I don't say this to insult your franchise, the Washington Wizards. We know you played there for 9 years. Outside of Bradley Beal, there was no perennial All-Star that you played with. And so you had to face double and triple teams. So imagine what your numbers would have looked like if you would have played with the Golden State Warriors type of squad or an LA Lakers type of squad in your prime playing with 3 or 4 other Hall of Famers. Now, you're not going to say it, but I will. You don't hurt your wrist in 2015 in that second round versus the Hawks. You have the Wizards in the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since the 1970s. You are still beloved in the Washington community. I believe you're going to have your number retired sooner than later. When you look back on your time in Washington, what is the fondest memory you have?
I don't think it's hard to find, it's always a tough question when you ask, like, what's that one finding moment or memory? I think for me, I have so many. I just don't have one to pick out. I think for one, just getting an opportunity to be drafted into the NBA by that organization and reach my full potential of dreams of playing the NBA is definitely one. I think, my first opening night game in DC was fun. I think making my first All-Star. I think making a big shot game 7. I think getting a team to the playoffs. I think just being around so many great teammates and so many different players. I think those are all there, but most importantly, I can't forget the fans. The fans from DC, the people that worked in the arena. You can't forget none of those people because they were the ones that made me feel welcome, made me feel like I was a basketball star, made me feel like I was a star in the NBA. Because every night I put that Wizards jersey on and stepped on that floor, it was always chance and support for me.
We're joined by John Wall, 5-time NBA All-Star, Kentucky legend, NBA legend. John, I'm sure you get asked this a lot, but I'm just curious because you had this at a very early age where you feel like a lot of NBA superstars, they develop this in their 30s, sometimes after their playing career. You had a mindset very early on of giving back to education and giving back to physical activity and the youth. And I can recall, so many videos of you, whether it was televised nationally, locally, you reaching, kids with cancer and taking time out of your busy schedule to be there for them in their moment of need. Where does that come from? Because a lot of people who have your fame, your accolades, and your money and your fortune, you're not always thinking along those lines. Why were you different in that way?
The foundation, the queen of the family, my mother, Frances Pulley. With her, that's what she instilled in me is it's okay to be known as a great basketball player. It's better to be known as a better person. And I think just seeing her work multiple jobs, growing up, seeing her always giving back, even when I made it to the NBA, going to work at AU tournaments at the front desk when she didn't have to, connecting with the Salvation Army, which is a partnership I still have now to this day in North Carolina, helping them, giving back, cooking for people, doing all those things. I think that was instilled in me, and that's one thing I always wanted to do. And the most important thing I always said, with having a great foundation with the John Wall Family Foundation and great team around me and great support system is we don't do it for the camera. We don't do it for the likes. We don't do it for Instagram. We don't do it for no social media. We do it because we really enjoy giving back. I enjoy giving my time. And I think that's the most important thing because like you said, everybody has the money and the access to do what they want, but are you present? I want to be there full time present, letting these people know they can touch me. I'm just as normal as them. I just am somebody that's a celebrity or whatever you want to call it, or in the industry, and had the opportunity to put on a basketball jersey, NBA jersey at the highest level, where a lot of kids might not want to be that. They might want to be a doctor, firefighter, policeman, whatever they want to be, lawyer. I just want to get them opportunity to understand if you give 110% effort, you can accomplish anything in life. And I think that's the most important thing is being present more than just giving the money.
I've always heard you say it, John. It's all about giving back, and you don't just speak it, you live it, man. So obviously, we're well aware of it at SiriusXM NBA Radio, all the great work you've done. I know there's a lot of Wizards fans that want to get your insight into how they're going to do this season. You obviously
Yeah.
have the youth movement with Buck Carrington and obviously an underrated Alexander Sarr. I think if he played for a better squad that maybe got more notoriety last year, he would have won Rookie of the Year. We know he can ball. We know Chris Middleton. We know CJ McCollum. So it's a good mix of youth and veterans. Where is their ceiling, John, for 2025, 2026, your former Washington Wizards squad?
I think really for them is just finding a foundation. I think, you know what I mean, with a new front, like a new adding people to the new front office, drafting a lot of guys last year, seeing what they do in their second year. And then you bring in Trey Johnson and Will Riley, you know what I mean? Then you have your two veterans, you know what I mean, Chris Middleton and CJ McCollum. I think those two guys are going to help lay the foundation of being true professionals, how to work every day, how to be present, how to be there and understand what the NBA game is all about. But I think most important, those two the two guys I named in this year draft and those second year players gotta find out what their ceiling is. You know what I mean? Like how much better can they get in the league? Find out what their role is going to be. You know what I mean? Find out if one of these guys can turn around and be the franchise guy for them. You know what I mean, like you said, Alex, sorry, you draft them number two. You're looking at that as can you be our franchise guy? Can you show us you taking that leap? Can Koulibaly show he might be the franchise guy? Is it Trey Johnson coming in his rookie year, being the number six pick? You know, he's a high guy that can score the ball at a high level. Will he be that? So I think for them, just trying to build a foundation, figure out what pieces work, what they can do, and move from that point forward. So I don't like see a high ceiling of them like being a playoff team or anything like this year. But I think as Wizards fan, you have to be patient. It's a time where you have to be patient, let them develop, let them grow. And I think most important, I think you kind of seen it the end of last year, how hard they played, how well they played as a team, how hard they played. You see guys just trying to do the little things. And I think competing on both ends of the floor, offensively and defensively, will help them grow and build that foundation that they're trying to build.
We're again joined by five-time NBA All-Star John Wall. Took the league by storm as a rookie with the Washington Wizards. In fact, you know he got on the national radar even in his high school days, but definitely put himself in rarefied air with what he did at Kentucky. John, I can't imagine what it's like being the number one overall pick. You had a very different situation than Cooper Flagg. You know,
Yeah,
Cooper
for
Flagg is
sure.
right. It's like. Let's be honest. You were the face of the franchise. You had the keys to the kingdom from day one. And I think Colin Cowherd and company were way too critical of you doing the Dougie. I'm just going to put that out there right now. You had every right to do that. That is your form of expression. We all know you're a natural born entertainer. You know what? You're a five-time All-Star. Eventually, a Naismith Memorial Hall of Famer. You can do the Dougie in day number one. And we know what you did at Lexington, getting Kentucky to the Elite Eight. So for me, you're coming. You know, Cooper's coming into a very different situation. He's playing alongside three first ballot Hall of Famers, and certainly you want Kyrie to get back healthy as soon as possible. What would your best advice be to Cooper Flagg, given this supreme and extreme expectations of being a number one overall pick?
Well, I think he's handling it very well. You know what I mean? Being a young guy that's supposed to be a freshman in college right now, I think he's handling it pretty well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He took college by storm himself. I think most important with him, he has, like you say, he has two other guys that was first round picks, and Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis, that can teach him a lot and understand what's going on. Like you say, you have another great first ballot Hall of Famer, in my opinion, Klay Thompson. But you
Yes.
also can't forget you have Jason Kidd, who's a Hall of Famer, a great coach, a guy that was a champion,
Yep.
won Rookie of the Year, was one of the best point guards that ever played the game. So I think he's in great company where he can learn so much from so many great veterans. I didn't go into a situation where there was a lot of veterans at the time. Like, you know what I mean, it was a lot of guys still in their third, fourth years figuring out what the NBA is all about. He's going to a situation where most of the guys on his team is 8 to 10 years in.
Right.
And then you have guys that won championships on that team, and a coach that has won championships. So I think he understands what's going on. He's going to be in a great situation, and most importantly, all the pressure is not going to be on him.
Right. Right.
He gets
That's
to
well.
sit back. He gets to sit back, and if he wants, he could be the third or fourth best guy. So I think that's going to help him out a lot, where nobody's expecting him to come out there and be the best player every night for them. or to average 20 every night. He's going to go in and fit in right where he needs to be. Play the three man, play our point forward sometimes if you need to. If you have high scoring nights, great. I mean, we want you to shoot a lot of threes. We want you to develop that. So when Kyrie do come back, we got a full team, and they can go in different lineups. You know what I mean? Some games he can play the three for them and start. Some games he can go small ball and play him at the four, which is not literally small ball because he's still 6'9" and 6'10". But it's different ways he can go for him. But I think he's in a great situation. He has his heads on the right shoulder, and he's going to be fine.
Absolutely. That's really well said, John. We got a couple more for you right here on SiriusXM NBA Radio. So listen, I would be remiss if I didn't bring this up because this is a sports talk debate conversation that has gone on since the beginning of time. Can you please clarify this? When everyone brings up John Calipari, the narrative nationally is good coach, great recruiter. Can you please dispel that for our audience that the coaching is very much on par with the recruiting? Because I feel like Cal gets a bad rep, and we know how persuasive he is. He can sell ice to an Eskimo, for God's sakes. But as someone that was so vital for his success at Kentucky, can you please speak to that?
He's great at both. His no is not good at one and great at the other. He's good. He's great at both. And I think the most important thing, a lot of people just say that because you got to think now all these schools want one and dones. He started that trend of wanting one and dones. You know what I mean? And for him to have opportunity to get 4 or 5 freshmen, 6, maybe 7 freshmen some years come in at one time, and every year I'm getting to the Elite Eight or the Final Four. That's very hard to do. You don't have no chemistry. You're coming in bringing 4 or 5 McDonald's All Americans that's used to averaging 25 points a game, probably not used to playing with nobody else that's nice. They all ultimate goal is to get to the NBA, right? How can I get all of y'all to mesh together to play as one to try to win a national championship? If it doesn't work and you're not ready, you come back for another year. If you're ready, you go to the NBA. So his ultimate goal is yes, he wants to win national championships, but it don't always work that way. And most of these teams you've seen that do win national championships, they might have 1 or 2, 3 freshmen, but they always gonna have 2 or 3 seniors or juniors that's starting in their lineup or key pieces to their team. That's why those be the teams that win championships. So he's a great coach and a great person. You know what I mean? Like everybody's gonna have an opinion, which you can never knock that. But for me playing for him, he's a great coach and a great recruiter and a great person.
Absolutely. And speaking of great people, John, I've never met anyone that ever said anything negative about you. Obviously, you know Antonio Daniels, very well. He speaks so glowingly of you, and so we all know you're going to kill it in this role as an NBA analyst with Amazon Prime. What are you most excited about in this next chapter of your NBA career?
First of all, shout out Amazon Prime for giving me the opportunity to take this new role and new career on something that wasn't on my radar and it came to mind. You know what I mean? Just throughout this year, early on, just working and doing things and just getting opportunities. So shout out to them. But for me, I'm treating it just like me coming in as a rookie to the NBA. Like I'm good at it. I can get so much better at it. I got to work on my craft as much as possible, just like you do with your basketball game. But I think just for me, the opportunity to just go out there and show my IQ, my basketball knowledge, trying to explain the why to a lot of fans. Like people watch the game, but they don't understand what's the reason why somebody did this or why they did that. So I think just being an analyst that's having fun, being authentic, being myself, but just being true to the game and giving back as much as I can. And I think just having an opportunity to work with so many great people. I mean, great other analysts on my team. You got D Wade, you got Udonis Haslem, Dirk Nowitzki, Candace Parker, Steve Nash, Blake Griffin. You know what I mean? Those are great people. Rudy Gay, Kyle Lowry, so many great people. And you can't forget the host, Taylor Rooks. So I think it's a great team and great people with all different mindsets and different opinions and different points of view of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And John, I lied. I got one little thing more for you because I really think I want to emphasize this even more. You brought up the John Wall Family Foundation. We have tens of millions of subscribers that listen to SiriusXM on a daily basis. Please just shed some more light to our audience about how they can find information about the John Wall Family Foundation and why it is so unique. Because I know you've been doing this for a long time, man. So I so appreciate what you do, not just on the court, but what you do for so many people off the court as well.
Yeah, I'm just one of those people that's do it generally for myself. You know what I mean? I come out of pocket for all of them and do those things. Sometimes you have sponsors, and if you do get the opportunity and donations, is always great and welcome to our team. You can go to my Instagram, John Wall, and go to my bio, and you'll see the John Wall Family Foundation page in there in my link tree. But I think it's great. People that want to know how connected I am to the community, what I do, giving back, enjoy giving back, you can go there and reach out. And if also you check my page. You see me always doing it. I do backpack giveaways, turkey drives, Christmas giveaways. I feed the Salvation Army every fourth Monday. I mean, I do those things as much as possible. I did a basketball court where I redid the court and put my mom on the logo. I put my mom on the court and put the John Wall Family Foundation logo there. So I try to do as much as possible, try to give back. So anybody that's locked in and want to know what's going on, can go to my Instagram, check my page out, go to John Wall Family Foundation, look at it, and we would take any support, any donations. But we're always trying to get back and make this world a better place.
Absolutely. Well, listen, John, we're rooting for you in your new role. We're rooting for the John Wall Family Foundation. It's a privilege to have you on, man. Continue success in what you're doing, and we hope to have you back on again soon. And John, really, man, kick it and knock it out of the park in your number one, okay?
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.